All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna White, your host of Keeping It Real on Purpose, and also your life purpose strategist. And I am so glad to have on our show today none other than Susan Burrell. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. So she is a renowned intuitive healer, a spiritual guide, and an author. She discovered how she can empower individuals to unlock their full potential and live a life of purpose. She's also the author of the amazing guide, right?
Yeah.
The Empowered Life, a 30-day transformation guide. Welcome to the show, Susan.
Thanks, Edna. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. We were just talking pre-show that we knew each other way back when I first started.
Way back,
Yes.
Probably before my book came out. So
yeah, absolutely. Yes. So tell us about the Empowered Life, the guide.
Well, the book?
Yes.
The book is, I wrote it it's a workbook, basically.
Okay.
When it came out, a bunch of people thought it was a read book. And
right.
My hair here, that's stupid. Anyway, I look like, it is a workbook, and it's based on practices that I utilized when I was going through divorce, and I knew I wanted to be happier, healthier, and recognize that I had low self-esteem. So it really was, how did I raise myself up into empowerment?
Right.
And so it's got lots of practical tools. There's deep dives, and there's gentle, okay, today you're just going to do an affirmation. There's lots of affirmations, but it also pairs with my website, because when we had lockdown eons ago now,
right, exactly.
I started, I was led to do guided meditations that I recorded. And it's amazing what comes out of my mouth when I'm just opening up to lead a meditation. So the book is paired with meditations that I developed specific for healing and transformation. And there's also within the book an opportunity to reconfigure your life purpose so that you can come out feeling empowered. You'll have a plan, but it's mostly about getting the garbage that blocks our creative, intuitive out of the way. And that requires doing work, inner work.
Right, it does. So you said reconfigure. Can you explain a little bit of the reconfiguration?
Yeah. Well, I'm big on mind mapping. Do you do mind mapping?
Yes.
Oh my God. When I found that years ago, it's my go-to. If I've got a question I can't find an answer to, I sit down and do a mind map. And what I found almost, I don't know, every year, maybe 3 or 4 times a year, when I'm journaling in my spiritual practice, my morning practice, I ask myself, who am I now?
That's good.
Because we are spiritual beings on an evolutionary soul growth path.
Okay.
And so we're constantly changing, just like the cells in our body are growing and dying off, and all of the constant change. We live in a dynamic universe.
Yes.
So asking that question, who am I now? Out of that, I begin to see, okay, I'm still on purpose. I'm still on the correct trajectory for my intentions in this lifetime. And or I've kind of segued, and maybe that segue is a much better direction than where I thought, and in my head, in the linear mind, that I needed to go. So so yeah, asking, I find it really helpful to ask who am I now?
Yeah.
And then listen to see what's shifted over the course of
Right.
a month or a year or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, because with mind mapping, your purpose may be the same, but your intention may be different. Correct?
Right. And different action steps might pop up.
Right.
That you, if you're sitting there, what I find is, when I give talks or I'm creating a class, I use a mind map. I do mind mapping to see what's the content I want. But it also helps you to see that, okay, this is a step I can take. This is an action item. The other thing is a quality I want to feel, because I'm really big on what are the qualities you want to feel in order to live a happy and empowered life. Okay. And it's not so much there's doingness in this life,
right?
But more about feeling and being connected
absolutely
to your inner guidance and wisdom. So
so the quality, explain to the audience what you mean by quality, because there's values, then there's qualities, correct?
Well, actually, sometimes those overlap, qualities and values.
Okay.
Right. So a quality might be, I want to be happy. But then the value could be, I want to be loved.
Okay.
Because love is a value, right?
Right.
And if the more we love, the happier we can become.
Okay.
And the more we give, giving is an action, but it comes from a place of gratitude, right? And gratitude is a quality.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Good. Awesome. So I love that your book, and I checked out your website and your book at the same time. They kind of, like you said, they chime. Empowered life. That's really great. Really great. When we talk about empowered, it's it's one of those buzzwords, right? It's out there, one of those buzzwords. Explain empowered from your perspective and what you do.
Oh, that's like two questions, Edna. So
okay,
I'll just break them down for my little pea brain here.
Okay.
Empowered to me, as I continue to grow and self-investigate,
right?
Being empowered to me is about deeper connection with the divine source within me.
Okay.
And therefore, it's a deeper connection with the divine source that's in every single being on this planet.
Right.
So there are no, while there's differences, we're all one. And to me, accessing that power is empowering.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, and actually, that is what I do when I work with clients or students. It's about, again, clearing their belief systems out as much as possible.
Right.
Especially in a class, you have to do baby steps, but getting them to understand that what they're operating under is a belief, and that's not the truth of their divine being.
Right.
Truth of every single person is love, even if we think they're snarky.
Right. Yeah. Even if we think otherwise. Yeah.
Right.
It's love.
There is that divine spark. And so as we uncover it within ourselves, we're able to see more of what's within others. And that is also empowering. So when I work with clients, we investigate what the belief systems are they've been operating under. And now this is the other thing, Edna, I've uncovered over the since we last saw each other.
Okay.
Is that often our beliefs, and you know this, and probably all your listeners do, but often our beliefs come from our family of origin.
Of course.
Or they come from a teacher or somebody who done us wrong, kind of thing. But the family of origin one caught me. I took about 1.5 years off from my business to do a deep spiritual and self-investigation, because I was finding that there were still parts of my woundedness and my feeling devalued that was getting in the way of who I am and what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And during that investigation, I uncovered that my beliefs, a lot of those not good enough beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
came down through ancestral lines.
Oh, sure, that we had nothing to do with.
Right. And so
nothing to do with.
It's like we've been shellacked, you know?
Yes.
They're just painting us on, painting it on, and they don't. So I developed an ancestral clearing. I did it for myself, and I realized I had to do it also. I went on my mother's ancestral line to see how far back. And this is all in meditation, you guys. This isn't like I'm researching genealogy.
Mm-hmm.
But I went back intuitively as far back as I could to find the grandmother who had kind of like the initiating idea. Now, when you go down a woman's lineage,
mm-hmm.
and you're looking for who started the I am not good enough, self-worth, values, there is no, that beginning is like
deep. It's
centuries ago, right? Couple thousand
mm-hmm.
or more.
Yes.
So to find the ancestor that was willing to say, it was, that life was hard for me. Then the work becomes accepting them
mm-hmm.
and loving them.
Mm-hmm.
Because and now we're just going to talk about women, Edna, because most women, we've been indoctrinated and suppressed and had property stolen from us, mm-hmm. our bodies, abused. Mm-hmm. And most women, I think most women carry a seed of shame all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whether or not you were traumatized in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And so then to forgive these women for doing the best they could in the circumstances mm-hmm. that they were in,
mm-hmm.
And sometimes I intuitively can hear what that circumstance was,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But mostly just to forgive them. And then mm-hmm. the freedom that comes out of that is a lightening of the burden that the ancestors are still carrying, mm-hmm. and a lightening of your burden. And so then what mm-hmm. I do is I face the future generation, because I have a son. And mm-hmm. years ago, there was my dad was a rageaholic when I was growing up. And so mm-hmm. I was exhibiting some of that. And I thought, it stops with me. It stops with me when I had my son. And without knowing that I was doing ancestral clearing, that's what I was doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't want that rage to go down the future generations.
Mm-hmm.
So the same with the self-worth. When I was investigating it, I faced the future generations, starting with my son, and sent love and esteem and all of that down so that they don't have, whatever their dealy do is going to be when they come here,
mm-hmm.
they don't have to do the work that I've already done about how do I like myself and do I like myself.
Right.
They can start on a higher plane,
Mm-hmm.
So, that's become another thing that I do now, and then with clients. In fact, I taught 3 classes this year, 2 of which were classes I created called "Are You a Light Leader?"
Mm-hmm.
Because at the beginning of lockdown, also that was such a pivot point. I think I was in meditation and heard you have to activate the light. Activate mm-hmm. the light. And I thought, well, what the hell? And then I heard activate light leaders. So there's many mm-hmm. of us that are light workers. You hear that bandied about a lot. Light worker, a light breather.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in the times that we're living through now, mm-hmm. we need people who are light leaders, who lead from a high soul purpose perspective. Not what we see, right? So that the new leadership that will be forming. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt, Edna, the new leadership is forming.
Yeah.
And we just still have to get through some muck.
Yeah.
But it requires people of integrity and who know their values, who live by values, not what we've been seeing. And
Right.
then light leaders support others in being their true authentic self.
Selves, yeah.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the little part of it. I thought there was going to be hope when they introduced diversity, equity, and inclusion with emotional intelligence. I thought that was going to happen, but they're not getting the emotional intelligence with the light, and that shines the light from within. They're doing it topically.
Yeah.
They're not doing it from here. They're doing it topically as a check. Check. And you can't check. You can't check when it comes to emotional intelligence and diversity, equity, inclusion. You can't, this is like at work and the workplace. You can't. It's got to be from a place of authenticity. Just completely.
And a heart connection where
very true.
Where the individuals are listening to their heart, which has a higher resonancy, a higher frequency,
absolutely,
in love than the head, which is that's where all the indoctrination is built.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where all the junk is there, and it's swirling around, and it's kind of talking you out of what the heart is saying. Because I know it happened to me. It talks you out of it because it's trying to protect you. Because when you're learning to live in the light, this is new to the brain, to the mind. It's new. So of course it's like, whoa, this is too.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to leave up holiday decorations year-round. Others have the need to use their garage as practice space for their new metal band. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Much, slow down. Maybe shouldn't do this, and starts to talk you out of it. When you listen to your heart, it helps you to vibrate even in hard times.
Yes. Well,
even in hard times.
It's almost like the practice of listening to the heart when things are good. It's like kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
And then we hit the hard times, and we're like moving fast through college, a master's program, and we're getting the damn PhD, and it could be within a month, But the acceleration, we're in we as a planet, as humanity, are in a huge acceleration and ascension program because we chose to be here as souls right now. And so it's not, I'm still swimming, I'm still swimming. Okay, I'll just keep going even when times are rough because somebody has to lead the light.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to do it, number one, for yourself, like you said the first time, for yourself. I wanted to talk for you to talk about, because I think you have a lot of insight on this, and you've done it. Taking that time, coaches like us, healers like us, leaders like us, need to take time to do the work for them, on themselves, in themselves, for themselves, and then be able to be a more of a light. Because when we don't do the work, it seems to be harder. It's not the way, everything kind of gets in the way. And we think, not gets in the way. We think that every time we go to, we have a goal, we have a set goal, like in our own business. Let me just take my own business. And we're like, oh, we're going this way. This is the goal here. I'm going this way. But it's like, what am I doing? I'm doing everything that's everybody said, but it's not working. And the only thing that clicked for me is like, am I being authentic? Am I checking my intentions? All of those things. And then when I even checked all my intentions, I had to do, now let me go back in my ancestral, go all the way back, because there's things that I have taken on. And I knew I was angry. I said, I didn't know why I was angry. Like
Yep.
once I got, over the trauma that I had, not over it, but I understood where it came from. Because once you understand where it comes from and, what it does to you, then you can kind of unravel that. But I said, okay, I'm still angry about something. I don't know what that is. Like, or I don't have a man and I don't know what that is. No, seriously, it's like every guy says I'm cute, and they talk to me, but what is that? What's that? I had to look back in my lineage and said, I see the pattern first. You have to be honest with yourself and see the pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to go and address it. Okay, so if I may be holding myself back from love because I don't even know I'm doing it.
Correct. And that's what a lot of people do about love, about a lot of things.
Yes.
You don't even know you don't know what you don't know what you don't know, right? So if
exactly. Yeah.
How are you gonna? So you have this investigation.
Yes, I like that word, investigation. Yeah, I like it.
Is so important if we are going to grow individually and collectively. If we're going to move to the next level collectively, wherever we are on the planet, we have to grow internally.
Right.
And to me, that is a high calling.
It is.
It's a very high spiritual calling to grow internally. And I'll share something with you. Before the election, I'm going to talk about it a little bit.
Go ahead.
I was traumatized. I was traumatized after the election too, but
as most people, I'm telling you, a lot of people
think. But there's some people I'm like, wow, you're okay with that. Oh, well, we're just going to see what happens.
But a lot of people are not okay. Yeah.
So, but leading up to it, I was angry and just critical and blah, blah. And I had to stop myself, Edna, because I went, okay, so one thing I do know as a spiritual healer, because of my own investigation, is if I'm upset about that over there, if I'm critical about that person, thing, place, whatever, outfit that woman's wearing, whatever, it's because I'm critical within myself. There is something where I am judging myself.
Yes, exactly.
It may not be the exact same way, but so during leading up to the actual election day, my daily practice became, who am I being critical of? And then looking at what is the criticism I have, and can I turn it around? And what is within me that I am being critical about?
Been there,
like that's not being good enough, or whatever. I can't remember what came up, but it was pretty. It was transformative. So. Just
a lot of work too. It's a lot of work for you. Yeah. You have to work on that. Absolutely.
It's not a one and done.
No.
Take a class or read one of those books, and you go, "Oh, thank God!"
It's not a one and done. I started like you started in my 40s to realize, I started with affirmations because that wasn't a thing for me. It wasn't part of my life. I didn't know anything about it. But when I started with Louise Hay and Wayne Dwyer, I started with them, and it just started opening things up for me. And then I went to the guy Think and Grow Rich. I went with him. And then I was just like eating other books up and trying to, get the fullness. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know this. And so it opened a new avenue for me. But it also started me to inwardly check. Everything was inwardly check. And I was like, wow, I was super critical, man. I may not have said a lot, but I thought a lot. Woo, but I had thought a lot. Woo. And it does damage to you, and that's, we don't. And then I thought, I said, well, if I'm saying that about her or him, what am I saying to myself? And I literally was in the mirror. And when I was doing this, I was actually driving the car.
And
I'm driving, and I was like, And I'm looking at the, I'm driving in the side view mirror. So I'm like screaming at the guy, and I saw myself, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. I was like, I was a different person. I was like, that's not good. So this is me. This is who I am. Like, so it's me. I'm not even thinking about that person, because me yelling at the window could have been like another accident. You know what I'm saying? Another issue. So I was like, oh, this is me. I'm talking to me, and I'm like, whoa. It was a very eye-opening. And ever since then, in my 40s, I want to say 42, 43, every day it's been like, peel away the onion, like you said, peel it away.
Well, and the thing is that's going on right now too, Edna, because I mentioned we're on an accelerated soul growth pattern.
Right.
2025 is going to like blow the doors off. I mean, we thought up until now was raucous. It will blow the doors off.
Yeah.
In eventually what will be a good way. But part of what is we need to pay attention to is what we are thinking. Because the vibrational frequency
absolutely
has amped up so much, we can have a thought and it will manifest.
That's right.
Fairly quickly. And if you're having negative thoughts about yourself, you're creating a problem.
Yes,
I mean, that's how disease gets built within
absolutely.
body.
Absolutely. You're creating it. You're the creator of it,
So it's
even the worry, the worry and the worry and the always, what is it called when they always grumbling about stuff? What is that called? Just grumbling about everything. Like, we was in the store today with my daughter, and so it's a grocery store, and you have to wait online. You just, it's not like, it's inevitable no matter what you do. No matter what condition you're in, wheelchair, you still gotta wait, right? So these people were behind us. And of course, it was a little old man, and he started, oh my God. And his wife said, calm down, this is a grocery store. But, even doing things like that, just putting that out there, it's like, oh, and you're putting a vibration out.
Yes.
That now somebody else is feeling that vibration. And, it's just like somebody coughing. It's a ripple effect. We don't know what that does. It's a ripple effect. It affects everyone that is in hearing mode of you.
Well,
and even if they don't hear it, they feel it.
It affects everyone around the planet.
Yes.
It really, truly does.
Yes.
I have one negative thought. It is touching people on the other side of the planet.
Absolutely.
That's exactly how frequency works. And
Absolutely.
we're all broadcasting stations. Every single one.
Yeah.
Just
we don't get that. That's important. I'm telling you, Susan, that is important. We got to get that part, that we are broadcasting stations, and the most negative thing that we have, that's why we got to get it out of us. We got to always work inward to get those things out of us.
Well, that's why the fear and anger pre-election, well, it hasn't, it's simmering right now, but
right.
It was so extensive, that we just have to be really aware. Do I want to live?
Absolutely.
This is what I ask myself, and I ask my clients and students and anybody who wants to listen to me. I do I want to live in fear, or do I want to live in love? And so when I start to get really fearful, I dig deep, and I just align with a vision of a high frequency of love, and I flood my mind and my body with it.
Good.
I want to live in love, through love, from love, and because the anger and the fear is those, again, back to ancestral stuff. That's all ancient history.
Right.
All of that is coming from ancient history. That as people continue to tell the story of what was, they're projecting what was into the future.
Absolutely.
And the future hasn't been written yet. We haven't lived that future. So we can make it up however we want now.
That's right.
Moment. So
that's right.
I guess that's the work I'm doing with myself, rewriting my story.
Right.
Rewriting the story again.
So audience, if you're just jumping in with us, we are speaking with inspiring conversation with Susan Burrell, a renowned intuitive healer, spiritual guide, and author. She empowers individuals to unlock their full potential and live a life of purpose. Now, this is the best part. We are at the big ask.
Okay.
So we're at this part for you, Susan. What does this quote mean to you? If you don't know what you want, it's impossible to create it in your life.
I got chills, and I don't know why I got chills. If you don't know what you want, it's impossible to create it in your life. So that speaks to me about being clear with yourself, clear, like you were talking about earlier, clear about what your motivation is for the thing that you want. Right. And then being clear that I deserve to have that thing. Absolutely. And then, well, now I'm moving into the co-creation piece of it. But if you don't know what you want, how are you going to be able to get something better if you don't even know what your dreams and your desires are?
Right. And that's when you have to unpack, like you said, unpack. And what's the word you use to do the investigation, right? The investigation.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So how can we find you, and what are you up to in the near future, if not now?
Well, now I'm just kind of trying to get my Christmas wrapping done. But in January, I will be teaching another Are You a Light Leader class. Oh, no, it's in February.
Okay.
And that's on Zoom. It'll be on my website if people want to join it. It's a 5-day in a row, 1 hour a day workshop. We go deep and we go fast, and people come out of that with sustainable transformation. I'm really thrilled about it. That's what I'm doing. But I also I do guided meditations that are on Insight Timer. And if somebody wants to get my guided meditations, either you can join on Insight Timer and find me. You can find the meditations through the website. But I'm also sending out a bi-monthly newsletter with new guided meditations to my newsletter group. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm also opening up this ancestral healing. I'm going to be teaching it a couple times next year. For anybody who wants to join in and learn about it. I got a lot going on. I just had a team meeting. We came up with so much stuff. Edna, I was like, I'm going to take a nap for 2 days and then I'll think about it. But yeah, so we're going to be doing that. And I do a lot of energy work. So I'm going to teach another energy class next year, probably in the fall.
So all of this you guys can find on the bottom of if you're watching the video, you can actually see that on the bottom of the video, okay? Because I know a bunch of you guys are live today, so just want you to know you can find it there. All of her information is going to be in the bottom of the video, and follow her. So we'd like you to like and subscribe if you are on YouTube. If you want audio, please do the same and share it around, because you are watching Keeping It Real on Purpose. I am your host, Edna White, and my esteemed guest, Susan Burrell. We're saying goodbye for now.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to leave up holiday decorations year-round. Others have the need to use their garage as practice space for their new metal band. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.